Hello and welcome to this webinar on how to build an effective incident response protocol. So this is a quick webinar, will probably last around 15 minutes and we do a Q&A session at the end. So if you've got any questions, please put them in the box and we'll do them at the end. So cybercrime is on the up and your team is the #1 bridge between the security and the vulnerability of your business. But do they know what to do if the worst happens? And this is really the basis around what an incident response protocol is. It's not just about telling you how to create a form. But before we start the actual thing, this is a part of our journey to 100%. So the elements, this is mainly for our clients, existing clients, but the main elements are 100% compliance and clarity this webinar helps towards. So if you're not or you'd like further details, please visit our website, syn-star.co.uk/your journey to 100. And we explain how we take our clients on a journey to 100% of all the 5 areas. And say this is an exercise for the compliance and clarity. So first things first, when it comes to an incident response protocol, is you need to get the entire team on board. If they're not on board, it won't work. So the reason that you want to clearly explain and have everyone to understand what happens if they have some kind of cybersecurity incident, then what you'll often find, and the reason that most companies have had a much worse cyber attack than they could have done, is often, let's say, for example, the user will be on their machine, they'll accidentally click something that they shouldn't have done. And then rather than go, oh my God, quick, I need to report this, or whatever the actions are that the company want you to do or want them to do, they normally go, oh my God, I've done something stupid. And then they'll try and do something like just close their laptop lid and hope it never happens. But of course, then the following day comes around, and by then, if it's some kind of encryption virus or anything else, then it's probably done a complete attack on the entire business. So what this exercise is really around is it's about trying to explain to your team, look, if something happens, you click on something, you download something you shouldn't, whatever, that's by the by, this is what you need to do. So the way that we would say, first of all, before we actually delve into showing you what an incident response protocol should look like and the details that you should have, it's that understanding of, have posters, have part of your onboarding process where you would explain, look, there's 3 main things that you need to remember if you do something or something happens to your machine, whether it was just an attack, a brute force attack that meant someone come into your machine, or you accidentally clicked on something, or you were a victim of a spoof email and you clicked on that link and then you downloaded whatever, or you put in your username and password. It's all about acting fast. Call your IT support, whether it's your internal manager, whether it's your external IT support company. In this case, if your external company is Syn-Star, just call someone as soon as you can. And then if you know how, try and disconnect your machine from the network. So it could be literally, if it's a desktop, pull the power out or pull the Ethernet plug out. Shut the machine down. Just try and do something to stop it from spreading to other machines. And that's really what it's about. It's about, first of all, if something happens, how can you try and segregate that machine? So, but first of all, shout, jump on it, speak to your manager, speak to your IT support. Obviously, if you do have regular cyber training, then hopefully people will be less likely to click on something that's bogus. But yes, definitely have posters dotted around saying around what to do if something happens cyber wise. Make sure it's included as part of your onboarding process. If you do have a company intranet, then it's really good to have, a poster or a label on there. And also, if you regularly do things like team huddles and team training, then make sure that you're advertising on that. And effectively, you're trying not to make it scary. Explain it. Look, it's okay. These things happen. And then the last part, before I delve into actually showing you the sort of the physical form that you might have, is this is also around compliance. So one of the biggest issues with cybersecurity at the moment is that companies will maybe get an attack, but then they don't advertise it, they don't explain how it happened, and they're the biggest things. Now, there's a lot of different compliance going on around the world. In Europe, very much the new, well, the NIS2 initiative. So there's a lot more companies around Europe that have to apply to this. Also, there's a newer version of Cyber Essentials coming out, and that is evolving a lot more around what do you do if you have a cyber attack? How do you, what are the steps that you've taken to try and minimize the impact to you and your partners? Partners being maybe, so it really is around that. So what we've tried to do is put it into a basic form. Now, depending on what your business is and what type of compliance or accreditations you've got, for example, accredited, then you may need some different steps. But effectively, incident response protocol, you need to know who it was, what happened, the date of the incident, the web address if that's relevant, a description of what happened. So that's a description of what that person did for the attacks to happen, but also then what afterwards. Did they, did something flag up on the machine? Did it come up with a blue screen? Did the machine shut down? All of those kind of things. And then just having relevant boxes. Now, what's really important is that these dovetail in with the overarching data recovery plan and the business disaster recovery plan. So they should all really dovetail in together, but it's making sure that anyone that does anything, that it's always recorded. And this is the really important thing. So, and then after it's all been sorted, you can then really build what could the user have done differently? Was it just the security of the business? And do you need to look at changing that and beefing it up? But it's all about reviewing and improving. And this is the big thing. Make sure that whenever you have any kind of cyber incident, that you do a full 360 feedback. What was it? How did it occur? Was it down to user error, or was it down to the hardware, the device? Maybe you don't have enough security. Are you not running fully managed cybersecurity packages? Are you, was the machine up to date? All of those kind of things. And then it's just building that back in and sharing the knowledge with the rest of the team. If it happens, you then need to explain to the rest of the team how it happened, and then how can you improve. So that, in a nutshell, is how to build a really good incident response protocol. So the first thing is you need to, before anything happens, make sure that it's a safe place, that you're advertising to the entire team. Look, if something happens, don't worry, just report it as fast as you can. Then once it's done, are you then reporting it in a compliant fashion, depending on your compliance and your accreditations? And then also then how do you do a follow-up and a full 360 review on it? Generally, when it comes to the techie side, that's when you would involve whether it's an external IT support partner or whether you've got an internal IT department. So that wraps up the first bit. We do have a few questions that have come in that I can see. Before that, just like to, here's all my details. If you've got any questions, there's my email address. But also, it would be good for you to connect with me on LinkedIn. So just straightforward Giles Cleverly on LinkedIn. We're always sharing lots of different things on LinkedIn, and that's normally the fastest place that we would push out information. And Syn-Star as a whole is on all of the main social media platforms. So what questions have we got? How long should this be? Right, so it should be a continual thing, but in terms of the forms and things, as we showed the example there, 1 page, but it really depends how much detail you want to go into. Generally, it doesn't need to be too long, albeit once everything happens and then you find out what happened and why, then that's when you really need more detail. but that would be more of a sort of a forensic type thing, and that would be more to do with your external IT company or your internal, depending on your setup of your business. So do you have the template? Yes, so this template itself, yes, you can download that from our website. So if you just go on to syn-star.co.uk, so effectively just syn-star.co.uk, and then at the top you'll see Learning Centre. Go into there, and then we've got lots and lots of different downloads. So it'd be worthwhile taking a visit onto there. So syn-star.co.uk. Next, how often should it be updated? So, I mean, it really needs to be updated as and when you change technology, but also it does need to be reviewed absolute bare minimum once a year, so annually. Often it can be a good exercise if you are ISO accredited or something similar that generally needs to be reviewed and updated every 6 or 12 months, then definitely add it into there. So also, the other thing that you might want to look at is your cyber insurance. So sometimes with cyber insurance, you do need these different elements. So again, it's always worthwhile just confirming with your cyber insurance company as well. What is this 100% journey? So yeah, essentially, Syn-Star's foundation is around we want to take all of our clients and we want to go on their journey to 100%. And there's different types of elements that they should be aiming for. Generally, the easiest one is say 100% uptime, because it then enables the business to work better, grow faster. You have happier team. And then the other elements around that are 100% solutions, 100% proactive, 100% compliance, and 100% clarity. So compliance would generally bounce off of what you need within your industry, within your different accreditations, or if you've got cyber insurance, we want to make sure that you're compliant for that. Clarity means that you know exactly what's going on. If someone was to come in and throw your server out of the window, how long would it take to get back up and running again? So that's really clarity, that you as the business knows exactly what to expect if the worst happens. 100% solutions. This is making sure that all of your technology actually works for the business. So we actually help you with the software that you're using as well. We don't write software, so we're fully independent, but it's about helping you use technology better. We don't just fix things and that's it. And then the final part is the proactive part. It's that continuous push to be as proactive as possible so that we're fixing things before they cause issues and before they cause downtime, because again, our aim is to get you to 100% uptime. So okay, so I think that's it for the questions. We don't have any more. So thank you very much for your time. It's been much appreciated. Say, do get in touch with me. Best place is probably LinkedIn. Connect or follow me on there. And yeah, thanks for watching.